You guys are in Elior, if I remember correctly, is the name of the town. It is in High Rock, and you guys are staying there with Hacken. You are currently in the tavern that he owns, and Hacken greets you. Here's where it gets fun, because theoretically, I have a voice for Hacken. I've been trying to pick up basic voice acting over the weekend. So bear with me. It's going to be terrible voice acting, but we're going to try it. Oh, hello there, adventurers. Good morning. So, here is your mission for today. He slides over a pamphlet toward you. So, I've spoken with the nomads that were bargained with. He looks at you all. Bargained with last time you had spoke with me. What they have known about their surroundings is that, well, let me take a step back. You may not be familiar with the crowns and forebearers. So, let me explain. The forebearers, my kind, are those in Hammerfell. Are those of us in Hammerfell who support the Empire. We are the first to have settled here and have since then been joined by the Crowns. The Crowns more or less accept the Imperial authority, but are looking for ways to, how should I put it, undermine legally that authority. However, we have word that the Crowns are seeking Dwemer ruins. The nomads have found one of these Dwemer ruins, and as part of the trade for their security, they have provided us access to the location of these ruins. They believe that the Crowns are looking for something in these ruins, but do not know what. Now, the specific ruins, and let me see if I can remember their story correctly. Yes, so they had chanced upon it while looking for an area to live in safety, and had chanced upon a code to get in. The code they had was numerical, 125, 134. However, they said when they approached this ruin and began pressing the buttons, one of their kind was struck down, after which they left the ruins and went seeking for those that were already opened. However, as you are looking for adventures to go upon, and if we are to thwart the activity of the Crowns, I would have you go to these ruins, investigate them, see what is within, and if possible, secure them for the forebearers. We will send out a city garrison once we know it is clear. Do you have any questions? Great, more twaps. I don't know what voice I'm supposed to use for Dragonborn. Great, more traps. I swear to the gods, if you jump over them again, Freakness, I will knock you out again.
I know it's just forebears.
Just forebears? Retcon. All he said was forebears. This is why we have a lore expert. Aw, Farkas, are you cleaning? Good kitty. Can you pull a Kralius voice? Kralius isn't here. There ain't no Kralius here. I don't know no Kralius. Ate too much candy. Ah, who would have expected a Candasaurus would eat too much candy? This is glorious. Hacken begins nursing a pint of ale that he is having for breakfast. Breakfast? I meant lunch, but now it's breakfast. Ale for breakfast. Perfect. Or Felix speaking up. Ah, yes. We are experts in traps after our last Dwemer encounter. Hacken just chuckles and catches himself as you caught him mid-drink. Well, with no questions, then I bid you safe travels. It will be roughly 1 day out and then 1 day back, given the directions that we have here. Food has been, he gestures over toward a table. Food has been set up elsewhere for you to take with you. You will not want for any food, water, or other necessities on your way out. I just be up before we go. Mind if I stop by the blacksmith? By all means. Wait, rolls for persuasion. Oh, I gotta get my dice. Where are my dice? I cleaned the entire house because we had in-laws over. I do like how the chatbot now replies with the roll. in chat rather than putting it underneath. You will be paid an amount that is 300 septims apiece upon completion and securing of the ruins. 150 for a scout, 150 for a secure. Because I haven't had a chance to brag on this in a while. It's a potat! Potat. Reminder, any potions you're wanting to purchase cost 10. May we perhaps get supply lines for potions in the event of, unfortunate negotiations with traps, Felix says. Haken just turns over. Felix. We are paying you money that includes your payment for potions. I advise you to spend your resources wisely, Bard. In an attempt to come off of sarcastic, Felix merely seems to come across as he actually means he'll be talking to traps. Everyone begins to question his intelligence, as if any joke were meant, it went straight into the floor. What armor am I allowed to use? As long as you have 1 point into heavy armor, you can wear any heavy armor that you can afford. You are no longer tied to armor skill in order to use a shield. That is correct, Dragonborn. So, our Nord friend, Felix, what kind of skooma have you been drinking to be talking to traps? Felix, oh, we don't talk about that, my friend, my dear Nord friend. However, the previous night was quite exhausting. I have 1 point in heavy armor, then you can wear any heavy armor that you can afford. Update your sheet accordingly. You could also wear medium or light armor regardless. No points are required to wear those. But basic training in heavy armor is required. Get a D10 and D6 out so that I've got everything. Figure I pull a bunch of D6s. There's another D20. I didn't pull it. Oh, I did pull 2 D10s. We're good. We are good. Ah, the beautiful sound of dice. Given that nobody seems to need anything else, you guys are on your way? Well, there we go. So, out into the Painted Hills, crossing the Painted Hills, you guys are going to be arriving as you approach dusk. I need a D12 to figure out what time you guys arrive. Let's see, we will do a 4 o'clock plus D12. Plus 12. Response to Presidente in German. Stop! Got a decent 12 out of 20. Felix the Bard strumming up a tune as you guys are walking through. Kept in good spirits. You guys are going to be arriving at 6 p.m. 6 p.m.? No. 4 p.m. And sure enough, at 4 p.m., getting toward evening. No, I did it wrong again. Dang it. Because you guys wanted to arrive at evening, not during the day. So, 2 hours after sunset, 9 p.m. 4:20 p.m. Uther o'clock. Let me do... Yes, so 9 o'clock. I still have us up. That might just be you, Dragonborn. What is the protection of steel armor? You would need to check the source materials. So you would go over to gear, steel heavy armor, protection 3. As in it, proving he's not human. But yeah, so you just go over to gear and you're able to get what you need from there. It's right next to the cost. So, you guys have arrived at the ruins. It is officially 8 p.m. What do you want to do? Are there any light sources? None readily available, though it does appear there's some dim light coming from within. Dwemer dim light. Just anger freakness, he's hot-headed enough to give light. My main concern is I will not be able to see. Obviously, I will not be leading the party. Both of them have night vision, yes. We have a volunteer to lead. Meanwhile, Kara starts looking around the edges, taking a perception. The sand in this area appears to be well settled. You don't see any signs of traps or mechanisms on the outside, though it does appear that just inside the door, from what you can see, The sand appears to have been thrown back, and you can see blood mixed in with the sand. That said, it appears whatever caused that is somewhere deeper within the ruins. Urus, we're in here. We are. I don't know if they can hear you. They might be able to. Yes. Meow. 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 We're having a very enlightened discussion. He's correcting me on the Khajiit lore and the lore of Alfiks. Ernst is actually exceptionally well versed in the lore of Alfiks Dwemer. He actually knows the entire secrets, and he just won't tell me. Alright, so catching back up, as the party sits there, a armored figure finally catches up. Freakness turning around, seeing the approaching figure. Who are you? Challenge rising up across the sand. Though there is a acknowledgement in the way that she walks, that this is indeed Aisha. The way she walks, the fact that the armor is indeed still letting off signs of personality through its armored plates, it is clear who approaches. Takes one sour encounter to turn the pacifists into the warriors. Alright, heading on in. The Dragonborn Nord at the lead. You guys walk in and come across some dwarven mechanisms, as well as a door that has 4 buttons set into it. The entire aura around the door seems to show scenes of time. Up near the button at the top, there's an image of the sun. The next button has the sun at the bottom, but then the moon at the top. The bottom button is purely the moon. The left button has the moon at the bottom and the sun at the top. What do you do as the party? Yep, roll up perception if you're wanting to search. To sarcasm at the door. Kartoffel levies a decent insult about the dwarf's craftsmanship that somehow also comes across as funny. Aisha looks around, unable to identify anything. Kanara looks around, unable to see anything. Jose, Dragonborn, looks around and begins to see something that the others have missed. When looking around the doorframe, there is a ever so slightly set-in groove. Inside that groove, there is a small little peg just moving along it. Currently, that peg is about here where you see my map. Oh, you know what? I have a laser pointer. Laser pointer! Currently, that peg is ticking through here, moving exceedingly slowly. Let me grab character up so I can try to grab names. Kadaro, while looking around, sees that groove appears to circle the entirety of the door, but for the moment, it does not appear to be doing anything, save for slowly moving. Feeling sleepy, had to get a Monster energy drink? Do what you need to do to survive, Kenneth. Such is the way of school. The ground around you is stained with blood, and all of the sand appears disturbed, thus confirming you are likely at the ruin where the nomad met his fate. Freakness, must we wait until a certain time to enter? Felix, well, you know, I've seen many doors back in Vardenfell. None have ever been this fancy. Probably no treasure inside. Nord friend, this is where we put the code in. It's a trap if we get it wrong, though. The subtle plucking of lute strings echoing through the dwarven halls. The party thinks long and hard. Trying to find paper? We're gonna be here forever? I mean, that's easy on me as a DM. I will admit, I probably, in prepping this, I spent way too much time prepping this puzzle. Are there pictures outside, or are they inside of the groove? The pictures, if you can imagine it, the button is the picture. The groove appears to run underneath the buttons. So they disappear, and then they reappear on the other side for each of the buttons. Rule 7 of DM, always remember the party is too stupid for the puzzle. Says the bard. Thinks the bard, technically. Freakness gets frustrated, shoulders his way up to the puzzle, then he just stops. All of this searching, an hour has passed. It is now 9 p.m. You guys are expected to report back within a day. With your waiting, the ticker the peg has advanced to about here. Goes outside, looks at the moon. The 2 moons on this various day are obscured due to clouds. Kara just eyes big as a kitty. Kara may have had too much moon sugar. Kara's in her happy place. Kadaro speaks up. This one thinks we should wait until the peg is at the top. Took about an hour for it to go from here to about here. Dragonborn, look, I don't think we have time to wait. I'm gonna push a button and see what happens. Steps up, presses the bottom button. There's a click, and nothing happens. I'll take perception rolls from everyone. Freakness is like, I'm stepping back. Alright, so Aisha, while sitting there and meditating on Mara, trying to think through the puzzle, when the button is clicked, you hear both the click, then from somewhere on the inside, you just hear a followed by another click. Jornir, I did not forget. Totally didn't. Almost as if by pressing the button, something on the inside rang. That's reflecting the too much moon sugar quite nicely. Perhaps we need to use the code? I'm willing to keep clicking. I'm already dead. What more harm can happen? What should be next? Use the Homer Simpson method, the ghost says. Hit the buttons until it works or explodes. Can we move the peg, or is it just doing its own thing? Taking a dagger and carefully attempting to move the peg, it does not appear that you can move it or impede its movement. When you try to wedge it in place, it just starts to subtly bend your dagger, moving of its own compulsion. It appears whatever is moving the peg has too much torque to be stopped, or to be turned manually from this end. Pressing the left one next. So reaching up. Freakness at the back of the room watching you. You press it. Everyone listening carefully this time, per the instructions of Aisha. Click. Watching intensely. Kara steps back with Freakness, both just looking intently, but staying away from anything that could go wrong. Karado also getting back. So we've got 3 people sitting at the back. Aisha, Kartoffel, and Jornir up there. Freakness sweating. Press the right one, and then the top. See if I get impaled or this opens. So you press the right one. Listening carefully. Click. Then were you wanting to press the top one? You hear the click. The tonal just keeps going, at which point you guys hear everyone hears a sudden snapping sound. At that snapping sound, you quickly just start hearing whoosh, 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 whoosh. So, what has happened is the dwarven helicopter blades have stuck up from underneath the sand and begun spinning. This is a dwarven trap. As such, those of you who are out of the room are fine, but those of you who are in the room will need to make athletics checks to get out. We will go in order of individuals. Aisha, we will go with you first because you're first here on my source list. I need you to roll me an athletics skill check. You may spend a point of stamina to roll a d20. Otherwise, you're rolling a d10. Judging by how hard this looks and converting that to numbers, you need to roll a 15. What happened? Jornir pushed buttons, and now the dwarven helicopters have come out to play. 2. Right, so that's going to be 3 points of damage. Jornir just starts jumping. Nope, and hops all the way out. Aisha, I don't know what your health is. Let me check. So you're now staggered. Helicopter traps make you roll again. Roll another athletics check. You may spend a d20 or spend a point in... No, you don't have another point in stamina. So roll a d10. 2, so it is cumulative, so you get up to 5 for the first one. But no, not enough. So with the first hit, the helicopter blade knocks out your knees, knocking you to the ground. Armor is no defense against the swinging blades of Dwemer helicopters. And by the time your battered body is shunted to the edge, your body is fully unconscious. Kartoffel, you're still in the area. So if you wouldn't mind, go ahead and give me an athletics roll. I said I'll back away? Did you now? Oh, you did. Disregard. No need to roll. I think my character is out for the session. Too many bad rolls. It was a bit unfortunate there. Freakness looks in horror as the blades make short work of the other heavily armored combatant. These are Dwemer traps. Dwemer traps don't glance off of armor. They are designed to cut through solid metal. Roll to comfort injured ally. Injured ally is unconscious. The blades continue going for what is probably about half an hour. They keep going for quite some time before finally you see them return to their spots. Blades snap up vertical and descend below the sand. At which point you hear the trilling that had been coming from the other side stop. Tough luck, I have no more gold. I think we're still going to be waiving the cost of going unconscious. It'll still cost a path point to recover, but it's not going to cost you 150 gold for the time being. Because I don't think I've got that balanced properly. And until I have the economy balanced, I'm not punishing people that harshly. So, all in all, it is now 10 o'clock. Our little peg has moved from here to here. There's not much left. In my theory is it shunted her off to the side and people rescued her. What with one spinning clockwise, grabbing her and flinging her body around, the other spinning, also spinning clockwise, grabbing it and shunting it toward the back. You cannot heal an unconscious person. Sadly, that is the pain of going unconscious. There are ways to do it, but they're higher level spells than what you guys have. So could I splash cold water to wake them? Head back to town and counter should reset. Nah, you live in a living world. You want to spend a day, you spend a day. We have a necromancer so we can just kill Aisha and then get it back. Says the ghost following the party. Where you're saying the peg has moved with stream delay? That is fair. So the peg started back here. And over... Right. Yeah, so then over the course of 4 hours, it has moved from 4 hours now. Over the course of 2 hours, it has advanced through to about here. So I'm just going to draw that for a little bit. If you're judging from that, it would take about another 2 hours for the peg to be underneath the button. So something like that, if we're trying to give you an idea of how fast it's moving. This will be the last time Frick gives us a puzzle. No. This is the last time Frick probably puts helicopter blades underneath the party. Because I didn't anticipate people rolling as bad as Aisha managed to roll. Puzzles are integral to the Elder Scrolls universe. And so writing a good puzzle is a work of art. No delay when it comes to puzzle description? Possibly, but I intend to keep it up here where we're at. The only interaction available is pushing buttons. That is correct. Only these 4 buttons are available to be pressed. Nothing else, save for the peg itself, is movable. And the peg is not movable by you. I'll walk up and continue pressing the buttons. I'll need to know what buttons you're wanting to press. So Jornir walks back up to the door. Alright, you all tell me what buttons to push, and I'll push them. Freakness, guess would be bottom, left, top, right. Would be his guess. I'll wait for confirmation before I have anyone press buttons. And everybody else stay out. And you also agree with Freakness as much as that freaks me out? Kara, we go with that. This one thinks the logic is sound. As they watch one eye cocked around, looking out past the doorway. You press the first one. You hear the one. Brrr. You press the second one. Brrr. Brrr. You press the third one. Brrr. 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 You press the fourth one. Brrr. 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 And at the sound of the snap, you start trying to get out of there and get to safety. I am going to need you to roll me another athletics, but because you are ready, we will go ahead and give you a 5-point bonus. 5-point bonus, so you need to get a 15 total, 9, 10, 11, plus 5, 16. Because you were ready, that head start gave you enough to get out. Half an hour of watching the helicopters make sand more sand? I mean, what happens when you break a grain of sand in half? It just becomes more sand. More fine-grained sand. Sand getting chucked everywhere, thrown outside of the chamber. Another half hour passes, and the blades fall silent. We'll have counted that as a full hour. We're now at 11 p.m. The peg looks like within the next hour it will be passing underneath the button. Can I shoot the button hard enough to push it? I mean, you need to hit a 15. So you'd be using a point of stamina for each shot, and needing to make a difficult shot. Jornir, after everything's settled, walks back up to the buttons, and then looks back at the party. Kara, this one thinks we should wait until the peg is underneath the button. Then we should press it. Are there any other exits or entrances to this room? So looking around, no, it appears that the room is just sized enough that the dwarven helicopters are able to sweep all of it. This is in many ways a killing zone, a death trap. An area built to cordon off and then punish trespassers, while also providing entrance. That said, you guys wait another hour. Aisha, we will have you come conscious during this hour. So you come back at 0 HP. Jornir, while sitting there pondering, does anyone remember the numbers? Kara pipes up. This one believes that was 125, 134. That jogs your memory and you realize that that is indeed correct. After the 1 hour passes, the peg is firmly underneath the bottom button. I will press the bottom button. Do you press the bottom button? No sound emanates from within, but then there is a quick little snapping sound. Different than the previous one. A panel with 10 buttons, 2 sets of 5, slides out and is revealed from the bottom of the door. Joy! More buttons! Jornir mutters under his breath. No one can ever accuse the Dwemer of not liking their buttons. This one knew we just had to wait for the peg to line up with the button. The ghost says push all the buttons and ignore the numbers that you know. Hehe. I was gonna say input those numbers, but Presidente is correct. First, second, fifth, then first, third, and fourth on the bottom row. So buttons 1, 2, 5 are pressed, following Kataro's instructions. And then 1, 3, and 4. As those buttons are pressed, you hear a subtle clicking. The lights on all of the buttons flash. The panel is withdrawn, and the door opens. There is not a moment for rest, though, for the door opens into a chamber, and 4 dwarven spiders, after taking a brief look at you, begin to stumble out. We are into combat. Let's see, sort sheet Z to A. So for the party, this lane 6 is the entrance to the threshold. So the spooters apparently go first. Then we have everyone who is backed up. Aisha, Jornir, Kataro, Kara, Felix. Oh, what was Freakness. Why did I not remember Freakness? There we go. Stealth since I was well away? Absolutely. +3 to that? Got it. If one shows up, do more return from the graveyard? I thought about putting in a mechanic for that. Don't laugh. 2 N's, not 2 O's. I'm just trying to do what you want. I'm just trying to type exactly what you typed. I digress. So the spooters all leap to Jornir. Well, some of them are running by. So 2 of them are attacking you. Their attacks don't appear to be super effective, but it looks like if one of their pinchers is able to hit you, it's going to hurt. It was 7 and an 8. May we command them? No. So much for falling back? I thought I had you full back. Oh, Jornir. Yeah. Want to buy dismantle. Reverberating strike. Ah. An RPG played out through Tessel, where you have to play specific decks. Get at my mud crab. Mud crab! Felix! We'll handle this. Step back! Meanwhile, Krabby's just in the back. Click, 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 click. Click, click. He sees his mechanical brethren, though they are lacking in top hats. Draw and use 10 septims to heal a stamina point. Got it. I do need your defense roll when you get a chance. Though I do realize I did skip the positioning roll, so we'll do positioning rolls at the same time as people need to act. It's gonna yell positioning. Yeah. They were still gonna get to Jornir regardless, so it doesn't change anything. It just means I went out of order, because I was too happy to use the little spooters to stab a Dragonborn. It's an addiction, really. Yes, per previous statement. Roll d10, rolls a 2. What's your bonus for defense? Do you have a bonus for defense? I assume you're wearing some form of armor. Only +1? Okay. You take 2 points of damage, and then you take 2 points of damage. In that order. I moved to my other PC. Ah, yes, you are awake at 0 hit points. But you do not have the staggered condition at the moment. Aisha. Okay, so you're going to have healed fully beforehand. That's fine. Use whatever you need for that resource-wise. Then you're on your positioning and your turn. Armor skill does add to your defensive roll, yes. So using Aisha's character as an example, it doesn't have total defense filled in, but it got 2 points. Steel armor is a 3 protection. Then a shield of 1 would mean 3, 4, 5, 6 for a total of 6 defense. So you begin advancing towards spiders. Alright, you do then have your that was your prep action. To drink a healing potion, though the other ones could have been done beforehand because you missed the previous statement that you were up. So you're staggered. So now it is your action, Aisha. You can move 1 spot and then you can cast a spell should you wish. Or you can burn a stamina to move 2 points and cast a spell. Regardless, you're not going to be in melee. Alright, now if you're going to use Raise Your Shield preemptively, let me make sure you know what you're doing there. Let's go back over to source materials under... Where did I put combat skills? How about in the one called combat skills? So what you would be doing is if you're raising your shield, you are preemptively means you'd be setting up a guard. So you'd spend 1 stamina, and then whenever something attacks you with a d20 for first attack, you defend with a d20, and then you get to immediately attack with a weapon. I know for a fact I'll go down with the next attack. Yeah, my simple setups have a way of wiping the party. But alright, so that was Aisha. Jornir, you're up next. I'm gonna use T for stealth on Kara and Kataro. Simply move and prepare mentally to fight? Yes. There you go. What can I do in terms of trying to get away? So you can't leave the lane because of the dwarven spiders. In order to move through a lane or leave a lane that has enemies in it. Alternatively, you could choose to flee because you are staggered. And by fleeing, you just take your full move away. And if you want to burn a point in stamina, you could move 3 away, but you're going to be leaving the fight at that point. You're not staggered yet. Then you're stuck in. Get ready. Now, you're using a 2-handed weapon, if I remember correctly. I could be wrong. Maybe you're one-handed. If you're a one-handed weapon, then you can take a parry action to defend against a single melee attack with a d20. Costs you a stamina to do, but you can do it. I'm gonna pick a Dwemer up and throw it. That would be an unarmed attack if you want to take an unarmed attack versus a Dwemer. So with that, what you'd be doing is you just roll an attack using your unarmed skill. Rolling a d10 for a normal attack. What's your plus to that? Shh. The Dwemer noise from Tessel just popping into your head nicely. Beautiful. +1. That is going to be a tie, and defenders win ties. So simple attack. clangs off the dwarven skin. It appears that they're easy to hit, but you need to actually put effort into damaging them. So it glances off. I can get away from the spitting blades of death, but attacking? No. Alright, next up. Kadaro. I will take actions from you and Kara. I forget if you went stealth in this one. You did, so starting you in stealth is fine. So your initial positioning phase, you can move forward 1 for free if you want. Your other positioning is stealthing. Kara being like, okay, Bo, you behave, begins to draw back an arrow to let loose. You may fire when ready. Meanwhile, Kim's flinging a star toward one of the spooters, trying to unseat its soul gem. The one closest to Jornir, arrow lined up, hits. So you could move forward 1 for free, and then on your turn, move forward 2. So 1 in positioning, and then 2 on your turn. And then you're able to fling, because you're now in range. That said, Kara's shot goes clean in and knocks it away. Good girl, who's a good bow? Yeah, so, Kim, to be clear, what happened is your prep phase was you stealthed and moved 1. Then your turn is move 2 and fling a star. So you're still 1 row away. So we're good. Rolling a d10, the bot didn't appear to see it. Did all of them? No, only 2 did. The bot appears not to have liked your roll. Oh, there it is. Rolled a 2 on a 10-sided die. What's your plus to that? Because they only have a 4 total for defense. So if you have a plus 3, that hits. Plus 2. Not quite enough. I'd be dead if they all attacked me once. True. The rest of them were rushing at the party, though. Divide and conquer. If I'm at 20 on command, can we keep the Dwemer? Nope. Alright. Stealth revealed for both of you. Felix, you and Freakness are up. I will take actions from both. You have enough useless pets, Felix. As the mud crab plays with the tail, just trying to catch the Khajiit tail. So for positioning, Felix advances 1, draws sword, and then advances 2. For a total advance of 3. Dwemer. I'm gonna throw that crab at them. So you get to move 1, draw hammer for your prep, then move forward 2, burning a stamina to run forward. So Freakness shouting just starts running forward. Dwemer turn. So 2 of them skitter past Jornir to engage Kadaro and Felix. Or Freakness. We'll roll to see which ones they go for. But we'll settle Jornir's one first. The little spooter attacks with a 3. 3 to hit. Should I have rolled to re-stealth? That is actually a change, so no. To re-stealth, you need to spend an extra point of stamina. If you want to, you're welcome to, given that that was a change for this edition. In other words, Stealth Archer got a... Alright, 6 for defense. You successfully defend. I don't know who needs to roll defense yet, Kartoffel. Dragonborn did need to, but he just did, and successfully. Jornir defended himself. First one goes for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Kadaro. Wrong roll, but I'll keep it. I rolled a d20 instead of a d10, but they rolled a 1. So anything else I'd roll would only give them benefits. So 3 to hit Kadaro. Spend the stamina, then go ahead and roll stealth, Candace. And then the other one, odd, even, Freakness. So Freakness, I will need a defense. Versus a 11 attack. They see you, Candace. So no stealth regained. Stamina defense, 15 plus 5. Proper defense was levied. Hammer in tow. Just knocks the Dwemer around and it just kind of skitters back. With your little pinchers going, I'm gonna get you. And with Kim, a deft little cat dodge and avoids the pinchers as they snap where a leg would have been. Aisha, you are up. I should voice act for the spiders. Aisha advances 1, engages a spider. Yeah, don't do that again. Ask and ye shall be cursed. That's how that works. So rolling a d20, swinging fully in. What's its defense? Plus 2. That's a 6 defense. You have a 5 plus 2, 7 to hit. That's going to be a hit. So swinging an iron sword, You graze it, causing some of the joints to visibly loosen. Jornir, I'll take actions from you and Kadaro. I've got Freakness's stashed turn. Can I keep a leg for good luck? Yes. If you're not dead when this is done. I will take actions from Jornir and Kadaro. Rolling d20 plus 1, total of a 5, versus a 10 defense. So Jornir's weapon, swing and a miss, as the little spider just kind of jumps up on all of its legs and jumps over the weapon. Again, just kind of putting its pinchers, looking like it's out for blood. There's something demonic going with its little soul gem there. Kim just flicking a star down on top of the one that's attacking, or Kadaro flicking a star down onto the one that's attacking her. They're in a Dwarven Halls, Presidente. That makes them 4-1s, just FYI. A simple flick, a 9 to attack, versus a 9 defense. Equal defense, defender triumphs. It was your lore. Your lore that helped us build this. We couldn't have built this without you, Kitty Kitty. Wouldn't have done it. So again, the star just kind of, with not enough energy put behind it, it just glances off of the armor. I will take actions from Kara and Felix. No treats for Kitty? Oh, we should get treats for Kitty. I would grr for a kitty, but I've got a kitty here looking at me, and I don't want to confuse Urist. You want a treat? I'm going to toss it in front of the cat cam if I can. That should work, right? Now we got a kitty butt out of it. There you go. You have bribed exactly 1 kitty butt out of me. And yes, that will be happening, Pimley. I'm okay with that. D20 plus 4 again, getting the one in Jornir's lane. Rolls to hit. Dwemer rolls defense. Total of an 8 to hit. Total of a 6 to defend. Let me see what's the damage your weapon does. It's Dwarven Bow. So, with proper ammunition, dead. You want another one? There we go. Should have gone through the shadow lane. Felix and Freakness. I will take actions from you both. Freakness, yours is covered because there are no longer any spiders attacking Jornir. Is there an injured one? There is. Spooter 1 over there. Aisha dinged it. Sword weakening the joints. It's a clanking spooter of bolts at the moment. Power attacking it. Spend your stamina. Roll your dice. Move your mice. All the spiders get hurt. Crit. Ah, it's beautiful. Sword saber. So dealing double damage, the sword just cleaves straight through it. Little bits of bolts flying everywhere, and one of the legs just perfectly arcs up and lands in your pocket. You now have a pocket Dwemer leg. Meanwhile, Freakness just takes his hammer, flings it over his head to a resounding gong as the sand just kind of craters around, revealing the stone and metal underneath it that just rings with the shaking of the weapon. Give me 1 second on this. We're gonna daze you until your next turn, reducing the die you use on all skills by 1. Just from the sheer shock of that weapon connecting. Which, if you've ever swung something two-handed and hit something hard, it rocks your body's world. I speak from experience. When dazed, can a character still use stamina? Yes. The remaining Spooter, ignoring Freakness, continues to attack Kadaro. Ready and out for kitty blood. It rolls a attack. Total of a 6 to hit. Try being less violent with the floor. That looked expensive. Felix comments right next to him. Spider leg in pocket. Dwarven spider leg. It's less creepy that way. I once hit a dugout fence pole with my aluminum bat at full might, and yes, it was quite a jarring experience. Okay, you get me then. Hi. You want me to get a treat out for you now? Farkas just showed up. The cat that least needs treats. I will take a defense from Kadaro, Kim, when possible. D10 plus 1, 5, 6, versus a 6 attack. Tie is a win for defender. Oh, ow, ow, ow. Look. Nope. There. No, that one hit a ledge. Alright. There we go. Every warrior noob's gotta have a swing and a miss. Aisha, I'll take actions from you, Jornir, and Kataro. Hand hit a tree root with a spade, not as violent as a giant hammer, but it was still interesting, yes. So an 11 to hit, an 8 for defense. It is wounded. Jornir stepping up to attack. You don't get more than 2 treats. Don't give me that look. I think you need D20 space +1. Chatbot's just not having it. It's just like, use the command correctly. Use the command correctly. Use the command correctly. There you go. Rolled a 19. Spooter is a splat. Cleared. I'll take perceptions from all. The encounter is not over, Dragonborn. Aisha is the first to notice it. Just inside the room, there is a grate with a spike trap set up. Also, smart enough to see is, back where the spiders came from, there's a button that would be pressed to deactivate the spike trap. Stream was not on for so long. Kitty needs to make up for no kitty treats for ages. You're right, and you're wrong. It will either take a 10 athletics to jump the trap and press the button, or a 20 to hit the button, given that it's rolled against it. It needs to be renamed proper? Hush. It'll get renamed proper when I have it properly. Is Freakness still dazed? No, you can wait for the daze to wear off. If you're getting the bonus points, that's called using a point of stamina to roll a d20 instead of a d10. The system already gives you a bonus, Dragonborn. Could our sneaks use light-footedness to walk over? No. For any non-dwarven trap, I would probably say yes. But with a dwarven trap, it is expertly designed. You were talking masterwork traps here. So Freakness gets his running, d20 +0, nails it, jumps over, perfect form, hits, feet angled, stands up, uses his hammer, and with just enough effort, pushes the button to cause a clang, to hear a click, and you see the spikes kind of go up just a ½ inch, then flick to the side to indicate they are disarmed. See the lucky spider leg. That said, the trap is disarmed. The encounter is now over. You may regain any health, stamina, or magicka. Freakness, you are now forgiven for jumping the trap from our last encounter. I lost a whole stamina. I'm exhausted, the bard feigns a feint before recovering. Stuffs a loose spooter bolt into her pocket because why not? Do it. It appears the soul gems that were in the dwarven spiders cracked under their destruction. As such, they are not usable. Looking around the room, it appears to be pretty bare bones. From what you're able to gather, it was constructed by the spiders, yet either has already been looted, not likely given the fact that there's spiders in here, or it was never fully inhabited by the Dwemer. Rather, it was construction pre their disappearance. There's tables off to the side where you would expect to see chests, armor stands, armor weapons, yet there's nothing present. Just some loose scrap metal and vases set up where the spiders had spare materials. May we salvage the scraps. We will count any salvage in the loot you get when this is over. So yes, but rather than count it up now, we'll count it up when you're done. From here on, I push buttons that look trapped and everyone else guesses onto what I should push. Jornir says. Breathing a sigh of relief and looking half back at the helicopters that are oh so invisible underneath the sand, yet oh so guilty in the spilling of Aisha blood. This is my shiny bolt, Felix, and you cannot has it. Kara hisses. You call it junk. Me? I call it treasure. Good Tassel reference. So, moving on. What are we at? 8:14? Oh wow, we've gone long today. Fortunately, this is the last encounter. And you know what? In the interest of time. So, you guys wander up into the area. You gave us all the evil buttons, it's your own fault. Lol. So, you guys wander up into the main chamber and it appears that there is a telescope. We will pick up here next session. There will be a fight when we're getting started. But I wanted them out of the way so I could explain what you see. No level ups, I'm guessing? You will still level up. Yes. You will still get your level up, you just will not get any payment, as payment is rendered upon job completion. Level up still? I mean, a puzzle's still an encounter, and those traps were, they were a little more gruesome than I anticipated.